It was being called a masterstroke. Operation Sindoor had stunned Pakistan. 9 terror camps decimated. Key launch pads gone. Drone attacks neutralized. And Indian air power tearing deep into hostile territory.
Attack hua hai Noor Khan base pe.
Yet, just as India seemed poised to reframe the rules of engagement, a surprise ceasefire was brokered. The mediator, US President Donald Trump. The result, very familiar. Another moment of Indian strategic dominance traded, some argue, for yet another uncertain truce. Strategic thinker, author and defense commentator Brahma Chalani's argument is now gaining traction online. He argues that every time India snatches defeat from the hands of victory,
it underlines India's long political tradition of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Snatching defeat from the jaws of victory has become a recurring pattern, which is why India continues to repeat history. We never learn from history, so history repeats itself. 1948, 1954, 1960, 1966, Haji Pir being returned, then becomes a launch pad later for Pakistan to infiltrate terrorists into India. Simla, 1972, we give away our war gains at the negotiating table without securing anything in return from Pakistan. 2021, we vacate the strategic Kailash Heights, forfeiting our only bargaining chip in negotiations, and then we agree to Chinese-designed buffer zones in Ladakh areas. And now, Operation Sindoor. Operation Sindoor had such powerful symbolism.
So, we ask, has India once again snatched defeat from the jaws of victory? When India hit back after the April 22nd Pahalgam terror attack, it wasn't just retaliation. It was a recalibration. 9 terror hubs inside Pakistan were eliminated in under 48 hours. Drones were intercepted over Pokhran. BSF artillery spoke back. India had seized the upper hand. And then came the silence. A ceasefire brokered in the dead of night by Donald Trump. But the timing sparked questions. Why now? Why again? Critics were quick to point out this isn't new. In 1948, Indian forces had pushed back Pakistani invaders and were on the verge of reclaiming the entire state of Jammu and Kashmir. But just then, Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru took the matter to the United Nations. The result? A ceasefire that froze the conflict, created the LOC, and legitimized Pakistan's illegal occupation of 1/3 of the territory. The plebiscite promised by the UN, it never happened. India, from a position of strength, handed Pakistan strategic depth and a permanent dispute. India voluntarily gave up its extraterritorial rights in Tibet, formally recognizing it as part of China. No quid pro quo, no buffer, no foresight. Within years, China annexed Tibet, rewrote borders, and by 1952 went to war with India. Then again, New Delhi never recovered strategic parity in the Himalayas. Signed under World Bank mediation, India agreed to give Pakistan control over 80% of the Indus River system. This was despite being the upper riparian state. Experts say India gave away its greatest geopolitical card for peace, but in return got nothing. The hostility continued, terror factories flourished, and the model treaty never inspired trust. Then came the 1971 war, India's finest hour. After a spectacular military victory in the war, India held 93,000 Pakistani prisoners of war and territory in both East and West Pakistan. Yet, at Shimla Agreement, India gave it all back. Kashmir was not settled. Cross-border terrorism would rise again. Diplomacy triumphed, but only for Islamabad. Fast forward to 2021. Indian troops held the Kailash Heights during the standoff with China, putting pressure on PLA positions. But during disengagement talks, India agreed to a Chinese proposed buffer zone and vacated the area. China, notably, never withdrew from the other critical zones. Now, as Donald Trump claims credit for the India-Pakistan ceasefire after the Pahalgam revenge strikes, many are asking, was this another Shimla, another Tashkent, another moment India could have pushed further but didn't? Especially as Pakistan has already violated the ceasefire within hours. Artillery shelling resumed, drones were seen again. If this truce holds no ground, was India robbed of victory again? With Rudrishish Kanjilal, Bureau Report, India Today Global.